Hello, everyone. Hi, how are you? My name is Inita D. If you don't know what a drag queen is, it's basically a man in a dress for dollar bills. Well, that's my story. But yeah, I entertain by impersonating and performing as other artists or as another gender all throughout New York City. And I've been doing drag for about 4 years now. I'm super excited and so thankful to be here. And so just to make sure that I got all of my feelings and emotions and what we're going to be doing today and why I'm here organized and clear, I wrote a little spiel for you guys. So just bear with me as I read it. But again, for being here, and I appreciate you guys creating a safe space for me as an individual, and I'm excited for today. Well, for this evening. So here we go. Good evening, everyone. My name is Inita D. I'm your friendly neighborhood crossdresser, and welcome to Connecting the Dots. Over the past few months, I have been through a roller coaster of emotions between the depressing and isolating pandemic, the beautiful, inspiring Black Lives Matter movement, and the anxiety-inducing presidential election. It has been a ride. As a full-time drag queen in New York City, and by full-time, I mean that I make majority, if not all of my income from doing drag, I have felt all of these emotions and more. I went from working 6 days a week to within the matter of a weekend, losing all of my gigs and all of my employment. Um, Not only did that scare me for the stability of my livelihood and making sure I could pay my bills and my finances, but it also scared me for the health of myself, my roommates, and my family and my loved ones. Having so much in less than a year happen so fast became at one point too much to bear. Mentally, I thought I was okay because I was able to find a way to still make money and still do drag, just switched over virtually. However, I didn't take the time to really check in with myself to see how Zachary, which is my boy name, was doing. Because of that, I kept going and used alcohol and food. You know, they were essentials. So Seamless and the liquor store down the block was open and delivered. So I constantly went to them as a coping mechanism to deal with the stress of each day, but didn't realize that I was using those items for that purpose. And then ultimately, by the end of June, I said to myself, I'm tired and unsuccessfully, and I thank God for this. I tried to commit suicide and it did not happen, and I'm thankful for that. Um, at that moment, that was a reality check for me. Although I thought I was fine before because I was doing so much and I was still trying to stay active during this pandemic and still working, I didn't really take that time to check in on my mentality, and I was not as healthy as I thought. So I took that moment to reflect, regroup, and repeat. I took a month off from drag in July and I went to California to stay with my family there, my mom and my little brother. Without thinking about the next gig or drag or work, I was able to reflect on how the last couple of months affected me mentally, physically, and emotionally, and what bothered me the most during that time. Towards the end of my trip, I regrouped with my family and roommates and came up with a plan to seek professional help to unpack and discuss these things. Getting a therapist, honestly, guys, has been one of the most amazing decisions I've made for myself, both emotionally and mentally, because I have someone now who has the skills to help me navigate through stressful times and provide me with the tools necessary for me to have a better life and to deal with those stressful moments. And finally, I repeat. And by repeat, I mean every few weeks, I check in with myself, I talk to myself, and I ask, how are you doing? How are you feeling? What are your goals for the week? And what can we do better? All, and this is most important, all while telling myself to take my time and to take a break when needed. So I'm so humbled and honored to be here tonight to unpack this and share our stories in hopes of connecting the dots with each other so that we can unite against inequality, fight and conquer this pandemic, and become a better world. I implore you, everyone that is here today, that you also make sure that you take the time for yourself to check in. Check in with yourself to see how you are doing, okay? Because if you're not okay, you can't help others. And I learned that the hard way. And like I always say at the end of any of my shows, and this is not a show, this is a panel discussion, and I'm so happy to be here. But to me, this is still a platform for me to spread my word and my message and my story. Like I always say, it is okay to not be okay, but it is not okay to stay that way. Okay, guys, find the help that you need that is beneficial and healthy for you to become a better person and improve your physical, mental, and spiritual health. Thank you again. My name is Inita D. Now let's get to talking.